Friends, hello everyone. In this video, we'll talk about one magic word that can make any woman fall in love with you. But let's start from a bit further back. Recently, I attended an event, a gathering where almost everyone was a bit tipsy. I started a conversation with three women, asking them a series of questions. To begin, I asked them what kind of man they would ideally like to see next to them. The first woman said she wanted someone handsome, muscular, and kind. The second said she wanted a romantic, sensitive guy who would take her on beautiful dates and treat her nicely. The third described a reliable man who could take responsibility, solve her problems, and protect her. While their answers varied slightly, we got the general idea. Then I asked a more interesting question. Can you recall the man you loved the most in the past? The first woman remembered a man she almost married, but who left her. The second recalled a guy who cheated on her, and they broke up, stating she left him after being disappointed. The third woman also described a difficult relationship where she was head over heels, but it ended badly. This brings us to some food for thought. Do the men they loved the most match the ideal types they described? No, not at all. As we continued the conversation, I asked them how long they had been single. One said 6 months, the second said a year, and the third said a few months. I asked if they had met men who fit their ideal type during that time. They admitted they had, but something didn't click. They just didn't feel that spark. What can we conclude from this? Women often don't know what they truly want. They don't lie when they describe their ideal man or what they want from a man, but what attracts them can be completely different. This brings us to the magic word that can make any woman fall in love: no. When we refuse or say no, it creates a different dynamic. Think about it. When we agree to everything, we never really gain anything. But when we say no, we often gain a lot. It's important to be able to say no, to set boundaries and maintain your own comfort and principles. These are the lines a woman shouldn't cross. Many men lack this ability, making it easy for a woman to mold them like clay because they have no firm principles or positions they won't compromise. Women fall in love with men who say no much more often than those who always say yes. It's crucial to understand that the inability to say no leads to most problems. When a man always says yes, especially at critical moments in a relationship, the balance of significant shifts and things go downhill. Even at the initial stage of dating, if a man is too available, he becomes less interesting. Every woman, even those less attractive, receives attention from men. Beautiful and attractive women get even more attention. The only way to stand out is to say no and set boundaries. Many men fear that if they say no, the woman might leave. This fear often leads them to always say yes, which is a path to nowhere. You need to understand that saying no is what makes you valuable. If you don't, you end up as just another resource for her. When you say no, your value increases. Some men might ask, how can I say no if she might leave? That's the art of building relationships, making her want to say yes to your no. Yes, there are risks, but not saying no is a bigger risk that a serious issue for many men is low self-esteem. If a man doesn't value himself, he ends up trying to win her approval by always saying yes, which is a dead end. You need to work on your self-esteem, not by meditation, but by taking concrete actions and steps. Don't put women on a pedestal. Remember, your goal is to put her on your hook, not to be hooked by her. If your self-esteem is low or your objective value is not high, like if you're overweight or don't have many attractive qualities, not all women will be interested. But there will always be someone who appreciates you for who you are. If you're a man with high objective value, you can attract almost any woman. So, invest in your own development rather than trying to win someone over by constantly saying yes. Say no and see how your value increases. Make sure to like this video and stay tuned for the next one.